You are the Christ, the Son of the living God. Today we celebrate the feast day of St. Peter and Paul, two towering figures in the church. They are both come from very different paths. Both come from very different experiences, but both ended up at the same place of conversion, of recognizing Christ as the living God and devoting their life. And in fact, in both cases, they were martyred, and that's why I'm wearing red. Both martyred for the faith. They literally laid down their life in proclamation of the faith. But you know, Peter and Paul weren't perfect people. In fact, Peter, we remember Peter's famous threefold denial. Here he was, the closest of the apostles, and he himself denies Christ. And then Paul, who was once called Saul, as we all know, was a persecutor, had Christians tortured and beaten and killed in the name of righteousness. And they both had this incredible conversion. Paul's dramatic conversion on the way to Damascus, and Peter's conversion at the sight of the risen Lord, and promising to follow him forever. But here's the part, is that they both came to that same conclusion, that Christ is the Son of the living God. And somewhere in there that they had such a powerful experience, personal powerful experience, that they were never the same. They never turned back. They never flinched from that moment of conversion. You and I are also called to follow Christ in the same way. To make that statement for ourselves: you are the Christ, the Son of the living God. Now, look, I don't think, at least hopefully, few of us would be called to give our lives for that. But one never knows what is in store for the younger ones among us here. The older one, I think we've put in our time. Our arrival at the gates of heaven is not far away, not too far away, hopefully too far. But here's the thing, is that most all of us will not have a dramatic conversion like this, but we will have micro conversions. We will experience something that catches our attention, something that will, like we'd never seen it like this before, and then we'll become softer, we'll become gentler, we'll become more forgiving, less judgmental. Now, here's the really important part, is that micro conversions only happen if we have our eyes open, if we're open to seeing a new way, if we're open to hearing God in our life in a new way. And I promise you that those moments are happening all the time, but most of the time we don't hear and don't see because we are so easily distracted from what is going on in our life. And so it's so hard to stay focused on that. But I want us to first, at this table today, is to recognize those micro conversions that are happening in our own lives. And they happen because most often somebody else has done something that has just caught our attention. It's, for a moment, there's somebody's extraordinary act of kindness has caught our attention and thrown us off. Or some moment of extraordinary beauty with nature, the way the sun glistens over a glassy sea, or just a flower seeming to blossom in a moment that catches our eye. And if we're ready, we see that and we give glory, and there's a little bit of conversion that happens in our soul. Now, part of our role when we come to the table each week is to be part of this virtuous circle of micro conversions, that we participate in other people's conversions. By the way, we are extraordinarily kind in that maybe one singular moment, that we don't say something that we have in our head to say, and instead we say something kind, something gentle, That we do something just outside of our normal course, where we let the Lord direct us. We ask a question of a stranger. We embrace somebody who looks like they desperately need that hug. I will say we had a whole flurry of micro actions this week in the Vacation Bible School. The young men and women, the teenagers that have been part of that all week, we're doing it day after day. I saw it moment after moment, day after day. After a long day, they're still sitting there with smiles on their faces, selling these cookies for charity. That they reach out and are playing with these little toddlers well beyond their area of exhaustion. That they smile when kids laugh, and they engage with them doing these silly activities for no other reason other than that they will believe that Christ is the Son of the living God. So my friends, those are just simple little actions that stack up and stack up and stack up. And I believe wholeheartedly that while those kids did it this week, it's our turn to do it this coming week. In every person we meet, and in every situation we come across, we've got to be open to this Son of the living God and to become part of the Son of the living God. Whether it's a hand on the shoulder who has lost somebody in grief, or just merely looking at somebody and noticing them and saying, "You look great. You look great." My friends, this week, let's not look for some massive conversion, but let's look for micro conversions. And more importantly, let's become part of the micro conversions for others, so that we can all say with gusto, "Yes, Christ, Lord, you are the Christ, the Son of the living God."